Imagine sandy beaches, fun theme parks, and sunny days. Florida has its all. It's like a dream come true for many people. But wait, there is another side to Florida that's not so nice. In our video, we are going to talk about the both sides of Florida, the good stuff and the challenges it faces. Sure, Florida is more famous for its beautiful beaches and exciting attractions, but it also facing some big problems, which is not going to talking all together. We'll take a closer look of these things like safety concerns in schools. A lot of people getting kicked out from their homes, home costing too much, of unaffordability issues, folks struggling to get their health care even. But here's the thing, we are not here to just paint a bleak picture of Florida, just sake of it. We want to talk about so that we can find the solution. We care about things. If you're relocating here, if you're moving here, then these things kind of can make you prepare how to work towards it. So let's start this video right now.
Big changes coming after an alarming trend at some South Florida schools. 3 loaded guns were discovered on Broward school campuses in the last 2 weeks. Now security is getting beefed up as the school system hopes to make schools safer.
So number one issue is escalating concerns about school safety. Florida's educational institutions meant to be bastions of learning and growth have become breeding grounds of fear and insecurity. It's not everywhere, but it's part of it. The alarming rises in incidents of violence and bullying within the school has left students, parents, and educators grappling with pervasive sense of unease. According to the report by Florida Department of Education, incidents of bullying and harassments have increased by 18% over the past 2 years, underscoring the urgent need for interventions. And that's also because I don't know because of that, but there are like double side of the story going where the public school involvements like admissions have reduced in last couple of years. There's another thing is a big issue in Florida is the lenient gun laws, and that's a threat to school system. Look at this video.
Well, a student at Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale faced a judge today after being arrested Friday for bringing a loaded gun to school.
On March 10th, 2023, a teacher at Vero Beach High School received a note detailing an incident involving an 18-year-old sophomore student who was bragging about having a loaded gun in the classroom.
Florida's lenient stance on gun regulation presents a grave danger. This is my personal concern too, to the safety of security of our schools. I wish the government does a better job on the gun laws in Florida because these gun laws are making it a way harder worries for the parents. And easy to get this access to the firearms. Florida's permissive gun laws contribute to a culture of easy access to firearms with the lax regulations of governing gun ownerships and concealed carry permits. Individuals can acquire firearms with minimal oversights and trainings. This unrestricted access increases the likelihood of guns ending up the wrong hands, posing a significant risk of, especially to the school system. And you guys know the tragic incident happened of violence in 2018. It's supposed to be the love day, like Valentine's Day, February 14th, but became the hate day.
Outside, chaos. Students streaming out of the building, some running, many with their hands on their heads, a sea of backpacks abandoned on the ground.
I was in the classroom and all of I hear was shots. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
It's a senseless kinds of act are increased or have been increasing because of this gun law. I hope the government does but just better on this, and we need awareness. There are a lot of groups going around for this, and I personally also participate in those groups. If you're a Florida resident, you should contribute to this cause and help out to spread the awareness at least. Now, recently, as a study says, the Miami-Dade counties have students enrollments like 50,000 fewer students since 2019 and 20. For example, in Broward County, there was a 49,000 classroom seats sitting empty this year, leading school officials to consider closing the 8 schools in next 2 years, which is not a great news for the public school system. And some theory says it's because of the Florida gives a different school choice programs. That's also, and the homeschooling also Florida promotes. That's why also we saw this. But one of the reason also we see this, the school systems are not as accurate or as efficient as should be in Florida.
As housing costs rise, more and more people are being evicted from their homes. And with everything getting more expensive, it's not exactly a surprising trend. But for the thousands of families being forced out of their homes, it is traumatic.
They were evicted from their apartment, they said, because of a rental disagreement and problems with their building.
It's absolutely horrific, especially when you did everything right.
The evictions are going up, of course. The rent has doubled for a lot of people, and they just can't afford to pay the new prices.
And number two, the big problem are happening right now is surging eviction rates. The economic upheaval wrought by the COVID-19 pandemic is giving the big problems, especially right now. The rents are very much high. The home prices are very much high. That has triggered the landlord to increase the rents much higher. And that gives the scenario of the unaffordability. And that's when the eviction rates are increased. And Florida has only 3 days notice, eviction notice law. That's why the eviction rates are a little bit increased in last couple of years. Number three, soaring home prices. This is the huge topic. The real estate market is at the chaos where the prices are went up almost sometimes, some areas facing 40% to 60% raise. And some areas, even last year to this year, if you see, that's also 10 to 15% in past year alone, we are seeing the raise. And that is giving a little bit more problem or the unaffordability. Because the house prices are so high that people have to either move out to the other areas or they have to reduce their cost or, go to the rental price, and rental prices are not cheap too. So that creates this chaos, and I have specific videos what's happening in behind the scene housing market. It can be opportunity for the people who goes with the plan where you can negotiate prices pretty much in this market. But yes, overall median the household income people are not able to afford as they were before.
Is one of the most popular vacation destinations in the world. But government officials are issuing a new travel warning for the Bahamas. The State Department is warning tourists about increasing crime rates. The agency raised its travel advisory level to increased caution after 18 people were murdered this month alone. The murders have been happening in both broad daylight and at nighttime. So Americans are being told to stay extra vigilant, especially in eastern New Providence Island.
Now, another issue recently is started is the tourism dangerousness. The Florida is famous for Bahamas cruise or going the cruise to the different sides of the island. So Bahamas especially, like what I heard is they release the travel advisory. I'm going to put it here. If you in case planning to go to the Bahamas, then make sure you guys follow this. But it says there are a lot of robberies, murders, execution style of murders are happening there. When I was researching this video, I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy going. Even the locals are surprised why it is happening. So if you are traveling to Bahamas from Fort Lauderdale or Miami, then make sure you follow the rules and kind of be careful.